Gaming Bolt presents 15 greatest GTA 5 Easter eggs that will make you want to replay it immediately. The world of Los Santos in GTA 5 is huge and full of little secrets and details that many of us never even knew were there in the first place. It is, obviously, a game that begs replays, and people have been coming back to it again and again over the years, explaining its consistently ridiculous sales figures even now. So we know, thanks to its incredible quality, people don't really need any other reasons to immerse themselves in Los Santos again. However, here we have compiled a list of 15 of the best Easter eggs we've come across in the game. Looking at these, we definitely feel the urge to play GTA 5 once again, and we're sure you will feel the same as well. Serial Killer Scavenger Hunt. One of the best and most elaborate Easter eggs that can be found in Grand Theft Auto 5 is the one about Merle Abrahams, the serial killer who was obsessed with the number 8. You don't ever actually get to meet the infamous serial killer, but his records of his exploits are scattered all throughout San Andreas for keen-eyed players to follow. You can visit his grave, his house, and even the prison where he was held captive. UFOs. UFOs are collectively one of the most well-known Easter eggs in all of GTA 5. No, you don't get to go inside the UFOs, but just seeing those saucers flying lazily above the skies of San Andreas is a real treat. While you can't actually see 3 out of the 4 UFOs until you've completed every single in-game mission and side mission, one of those is actually viewable from the very beginning. Frozen Alien. Speaking of UFOs, you didn't think they flew all this way to our planet on autopilot, did you? Presumably, one of the aliens that inhabited and flew one of the 4 UFOs mentioned previously can be found in the opening minutes of the game itself. In the prologue, under the bridge, players can easily spot the alien in question frozen inside the river. And though you cannot break through the ice no matter what manner of weapon you use, you can gaze at the extraterrestrial wonder as much as you want. In-game Red Dead novel written by John Marston. For all of you Red Dead Redemption fans out there, and we're sure there are plenty, this one's a real treat. You can find a novel titled Red Dead written by an author named J. Marston, as in John Marston, the protagonist of Red Dead Redemption for those who didn't know, or maybe Jack Marston, his son, in Franklin's house. This Easter egg isn't nearly as elaborate as some of the others in the games, but it's sure one that sticks out in our memory. Throwback to the Grove Street Trio. This one's hard to spot unless you're looking for it, especially on your first playthrough. Those who play GTA San Andreas are well acquainted with Grove Street, home of the popular game's protagonist, CJ. Riding past Grove Street in one of the missions in GTA 5, you actually see 3 well-known characters from GTA San Andreas, the aforementioned CJ, Big Smoke, and Sweet, all riding past you on bikes. It's a great throwback to a beloved game and one that makes your return to Grove Street that much sweeter. Mount Gordo. Based on a true story, this one's actually quite chilling and another one of GTA 5's most well-known Easter eggs. All you have to do to come across this Easter egg is go to Mount Gordo anytime between 11 p.m. and midnight, and you'll be able to see the ghost of a woman floating in the distance. She disappears if you get too close, but when she does, she leaves behind a one-word message, Jock, the name of her husband, who actually pushed her off the cliffs right to her death. Clacktrap. This one's quite brief and only for keen-eyed Borderlands fans, but it's also quite apparent if it's pointed out to you. There's a bunch of generators in the game that look almost exactly like Clacktrap from the popular RPG. It's out in the open, it's not too hard to find, and its paint job makes it very easy for players to spot. Niko Bellic's Life Invader page. Niko Bellic is actually mentioned at least a couple times in passing by characters throughout the course of Grand Theft Auto 5. Not explicitly, but it's there if you know what to listen for. But this is one reference to him that's probably the most interesting. Walking around Michael's house, you can see his son Jimmy browsing Niko's Life Invader page, and you can see what sort of stuff the GTA 4 protagonist is up to these days. There's all sorts of interesting details hidden away in the page, like a status message wishing Roman a happy birthday, making this one of the best Easter eggs in the entire game. Master Chief. There's a ton of references to other video games in GTA 5, some of which we've already mentioned in this feature, so it's obvious that Master Chief, being the protagonist of Halo and being one of the most recognizable figures in the industry, also gets some love. One of the street performers near the Chinese theater in the game looks exactly like Master Chief, with the armor and the helmet, and is instantly recognizable. This isn't an elaborate Easter egg like some of the others in the game, nor is it too subtle, but it sure is an interesting one. Mount Chiliad. This is a pretty well-known Easter egg in the game. If players travel to Mount Chiliad in the game, they'll notice that there is a face textured onto one of its sides. Some theorists suggest that it's the face of Jesse Pinkman, one of the 2 main protagonists of the popular show Breaking Bad, while the most popular opinion remains that it's probably just the face of one of the developers. Either way, it's worth checking out. The Hatch from Lost. Anyone who's seen the popular television show Lost is familiar with the infamous hatch. And seeing as it's actually an important part of pop culture, it's good to see it making an appearance in GTA 5 as well. Deep in the ocean, players in the game can find an underwater hatch that looks exactly like the one from Lost. It would have been great in-game if we were allowed to actually go inside, but we're happy with what we got, and the Lost fan in me definitely appreciated the touch. Rehab Island. There's a billboard in Los Santos that shows an advertisement for a place called Rehab Island, with a palm tree placed right in the middle of the logo, and it's clear what the billboard is referring to. It's referring to the popular zombie game developed by Deep Silver, Dead Island. The logo of the game and the logo of the billboard look almost exactly the same, and this is just another example of the great sense of humor the guys over at Rockstar have. Manhunt Mask. There's a retailer on Vespucci Beach in GTA 5 who sells masks, and one of the masks he sells looks almost exactly like the mask from Rockstar's Manhunt. It's a great Easter egg to have in the game, especially if you decide to wear the mask to one of your heists. Agent reference. We love this one because of how self-aware this is. Remember Agent, the PS3 exclusive game that was supposedly in development at Rockstar, but then no one ever heard of it for ages, and now everyone just assumes to be a dead project. Yeah, well, it's actually being referred to in GTA 5. During one of the missions, you get to drive a car with the license plate number 463NT. That's Agent, if you haven't figured that out. Bigfoot. Another one of GTA 5's elaborate and long-running Easter eggs, the Bigfoot has become a point of discussion for GTA 5 players as much as it is in real life. Well, maybe not as much. It can be seen in passing in a couple of missions in the game and is even the focal point of a side mission. It is revealed as a man in an ape suit in the mission, the last one, and the dialogue in the mission is especially funny, definitely worth checking out if you ever decide to play the game again. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at Gaming Vault, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.